Hello people, this is TheLastChestnut. I'm currently in the March 2013 banner list, and this is a profile for an X-Saber deck list. So starting up, we have triple xx-saber false roll, and X-Sabers isn't really X-Sabers if you don't have false roll, mainly because X-Sabers do what X-Sabers do best, and that is to synchro summon. And xx-saber false roll does that very, very well by summoning tuners from the grave, and especially if I have like 2 X-Sabers, and then I summon the false roll. Usually the other one is a tuner, so then I synchro for it too. It's for a synchro monster, and I use X-Saber false roll's effect to summon the tuner and then synchro again. So it brings out the tuners, brings out the synchros. Triple xx-saber Bogger Knight. Most people would only run 1 or 2. However, I run 3 because, well, I get consistent Bogger Knight, and I get to save the searches for my Dark Souls. And yeah, so it brings out the other monsters, and it's like Kageki from 6 Amps. And then triple Dark Soul, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's the main searcher of the deck. Searching out all my, like, Dark Souls, not Dark Souls, other Dark Souls, but my stall cards, boggarts, and false rolls. Then 1 Ember's Blade. Most people would be kind of squinty at this because most people run 2 or 3. But I only run 1 because I run double Super Nimble. And Super Nimble, I feel like, does the job that Ember's Blade does much more efficiently. Because the main reason why I run Ember's Blade is to bring out the Dark Soul. However, Super Nimble has more defense points and does the same thing. So I feel like it does the job better. Then triple xx-saber Full Hell Knight. I'm not running this for the 2 effects, but I'm mainly running this just because it's an X-Saber level 3 tuner. So it's like Kagemusha from 6 Samurais, and it's level 3, so I can go for level 6, 7, and 9, which are pretty much the 3 main levels I go for in this deck. And the Technician is nice, especially if I'm trying to stall. As for the second effect, I use it very seldom, and if I do, I usually use Econ or Maestro to get its effect off. Then there's 2 X-Saber Posh-Roll. Posh-Roll is an excellent stall card. It's a good distractor and a good stall. So I can search it if I'm in a tight corner, or I can use it for level 8s, level 8 synchros, and yeah. Then 1 Grand Soil. I use it pretty much the reason why people run Dark Armed. It's just nice to have. I can get, well, 5 Earth monsters in my graveyard pretty quickly since I'm synchroing so often. And it's good backup. If they destroy all my synchro monsters, then I can drop this and then summon another synchro and take control of the game. Then double Duality. Since it's X-Sabers, I normally just set the first turn, so I can afford to drop Duality first turn since I'm only setting, and this is additional setup. 1 Dress. Well, I was teching this mainly because I was trying to see how well it did. And I found out that a lot of people really don't like Bogger Knight, so they try to book it or Torrential or whatever. So I use Dress to protect my cards, and yeah. 1 Econ, I can use it to tribute my Dark Soul, get Dark Soul's effect, take control of a monster, or I can just change my opponent's monster defense build and attack with Full Helm. Yeah, it pretty much just softens up my opponent's field. 1 Buckamoon, staple, stops effects, stops attacks. 1 Mind Control, gets monsters out of the way for direct attacks, and I can use cards to synchro summon with my opponent's cards. Or I can use my opponent's cards to synchro summon my cards. 1 Reborn, this deck is fairly aggressive, so I get a lot of my cards destroyed sometimes if I make unwise choices, so I can use this to bring out the monsters that were blown up. 1 Dark Hole, staple, self-explanatory. I can set Dark Soul, play Dark Hole, and then the end phase get my search. Heavy Storm, staple, once again, takes up back row. Or I could just set it. Triple MST, most people run like 2, but I run 3 because Since this deck, again, this deck is fairly aggressive, so I want to get rid of most of my opponent's back row before I attack. Double Gom's Emergency Call. This card is really good because I can go off and then set this and be assured that next turn I can flip this and then start my combo again and take control of the duel. One Reinforced Truth, I can summon Poshul. Yeah, so quick Poshul, or I could just set it and if they attack I can flip it, summon the Poshul, and stall. Double Horn the Phantom Beast, it's like Spirit of the Six Sams for Six Samurais. So, all of my cards are Beast or Beast Warriors, so it gives them an 800 boost, and I get the plus. One Solemn Judgment, staple, stops summons and spells and traps. Double Saber Hole, because warning's at 1, and I like Saber Hole better. Or not necessarily better, but it's a good replacement for warning. One Torrential Tribute, I had no room for 2. I would run 2 if I could, but I run this card mostly because since I set a lot, I don't have a lot of monsters on the field, so I can flip Torrential if things don't go my way. And then, lastly, Double Mirror Force. It's for protection against my monsters, and yeah, kind of like almost a staple, semi-staple. Synchros, and extra deck. So I guess we'll start off with the Xyz monsters. One Wind Up Zen mains. I don't usually go for rank 3 a lot, because this deck is all about synchros. But if I'm stuck in a tight corner, I can flip out Zen mains and stall. One Leviathan, it's a beater, rank 3 beater, so if I'm in a situation where I could go for this guy and get over my opponent's big monsters, I'll go for him. One Maestroke, rank 4, I have Mind Control, I have Econ, I have Boggart Knight. Worst case scenario, go Boggart, overlay from Maestroke, get over whatever is in my way. Yeah. One Roach, I'm mainly running Roach because I'm trying to see how well it does in my X-Saber deck. So far I haven't found too many opportunities to use it. But mainly, if I do have a reason to run it, it's to stop my opponent from summoning big monsters. And then one Utopia, it's pretty much a staple for rank 4s, because it stops attacks. And it's a 25 beater. Then one Nat Beast, I can go for level 5 fairly easily with Poshul and Dark Soul, because Poshul stalls, and next turn I can summon Dark Soul and Synchro and start during the end phase. Double Heinley, this baits out a lot of Solemns and Torrential Tributes. So, I like this card because not only does it bait out cards, but I can destroy cards as well. And it's an accessible X-Saber level 6. Barkion, it's another accessible level 6, and it's just really nice level 6 synchro monster to have. And I have a lot of level 6s because, well, not a lot, but level 6, level 5, and level 9. Probably the more, level 6, level 7, and level 5 are usually the monsters that I go for the most. Which brings me to X-Saber Souza. So, Boggart Full Helm Souza. It's better than Urbellum, and it's an X-Saber level 7. And most of the time I have access to level 7. Black Rose, I run Econ and Mind Control. And Super Nimble. So Super Nimble is level 4, and I can use Full Helm with Hamster to go for this guy, seeing as Boggart can only be used for X-Sabers. One Stardust Dragon, it's level 8, it's kind of like the status quo for level 8 Synchro monsters. Negate stuff, 2500. One Scrat Dragon, this is kind of nice to have for level 8s, mostly because it gets cards off the field, and after Brio is banned, I kind of had no choice but to resort for Scrap Dragon to get monsters off the field. Then we have status quo of all X-Saber extra decks, double Gotems. Gotems is the main beater. It gets stuff out of my opponent's hand, especially if I feel uncomfortable. 3,100 attack points, it screws over like Red Dragon Archfiend or 3,000 beaters. So, yeah. So that was pretty much the deck. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, favorite, whatever. And, yeah, that's it.
And remember, all you haters out there, this is TheLastOnigiri behind the camera. If you guys don't have anything... This is the first video, so please don't hate too hard. Yes, all you haters out there, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. If it's positive criticism, please say it. But otherwise, don't say anything.
Please don't swear either down in the comments.